Hello and welcome to Polly Knits. It's another week, and Coco wanted to come and say hello, so here she is. Say hi, Coco. Coco. This is my little Min Pan. Coco. I'll let her go so she can go back to sleep. Hi, Coco. So, my name's Paul. The YouTube is Polly Knits. On Ravelry, I'm Polly81, but the group is still found under Polly Knits, so feel free to come over if you feel like it. The blog is knitting-polly.blogspot.com, and Instagram, Polly Knits, no real Facebook place, and no real Etsy shop as of yet, but I'm not going to say that every week. I'm dragging my feet, but that's okay. Today I'm drinking LaCroix, the orange flavor, out of my recycled Starbucks that I had the other day. And so what's been going on? Let's see here. I did go to the eye doctor. We're still watching my pressures, but they're high still. And oops, sorry for bumping the table. So we're having a hard time finding a medication that's gonna work, and geez, I can't get comfortable. And there's a shortage of the medication in Humboldt County where I live. But I just got a new bottle, so I don't think I'm gonna run out. Hopefully. But apparently people are buying the medication just full price, and they're not happy. So anything else? Oh, I'm growing out my beard. That's another thing, if you can tell. I haven't really grown it this long before, but it actually grew out all calico, orange, blonde, gray, brown, and I can't stand that. So I just went ahead and went over it with a hair color. I use Redken hair color, and my hair is actually my real color. I just dyed the beard to match my real color, so hopefully that grows out. And the Super Bowl's coming up in a few days, and I got invited to a really big party, which I go to every year, but this year I'm thinking about not going because of my health stuff. There's gonna be a bartender with all the free alcohol, there's gonna be a taco truck, there's gonna be a band, there's gonna be, this is all after the thing, after the game, there's gonna be dancing and just a ton of food, and it's like, I am not gonna want to behave myself. And Mike really wants me to go, and a lot of people want me to go, like, oh, we'll stay on your side. It's like, yeah, right. Once I let loose, it's all over from there. So, anyways, so that's a Super Bowl party. I can't wait for the Olympics to come up, so we'll talk about that in a minute. But let's get into it. Today is February 2nd, and I do have a hat that I finished. This is another hat for soldiers. You do a 2x2 rib for 9.5 inches. I do the instructed decreases, which is about 9 rows. Super easy, and I wanted to use up the whole ball, so I just put the rest of the yarn as a pom-pom. So you could wear it flopping. Flopping down like that, which is kind of cool. I was doing that earlier. Or you can do the fold-up style, which puts that pom-pom right on top of your head. So, either way, that's why I like these hats, is because you can double it up, or you can wear it single, which I've done both. And I don't usually add the pom-pom, but that's my finished object. The yarn is Bernat Camouflage, and it's a discontinued yarn, and oh, it's right here. And it was called Desert Sand, the colorway, and I used a US 5, which is a 3.75 millimeter if you're not in the US, or if you are in the US and you just choose to do millimeters. So that is my one finished object. Works in progress. I'm still working on the socks for my cousin Alex. Last week I think I was on the last week I just started this. And I'd knit 2x2 cuff instead of a 1x1. So I went back, pulled it out, redid that, and now I am on the heel flap. And these socks, the silver sock clasp for the heel, and pretty much the whole sock except for the toe. I like Kate Atherley's toe from Basic Rib Socks. So that's I usually like to do the heel flap for people that I don't really know how their foot fits. That's a pretty good universal heel. So, and then when I do stripes, I like the Fish Lips Kiss. For the afterthought heel I've done, and it's been too long for people, so that's always a disappointment if that happens. So yeah, this is the yarn I have left, which should be enough because that's a tightly wound skein. And if I run out before the toe, I'm just gonna put that other hawthorn I had from the scrap, and Alex will never know. Yeah, it's a totally different colorway. Okay, so the second thing I'm working on is crochet, and you have not seen this yet. I'm using Plymouth Encore Color Spun, 75% acrylic, 25% wool, worsted weight. And I got this at my LYS. It was $6.50. I think she has more of this, but she's trying to phase it out. She wants more local. Which this says Pennsylvania. I don't know. I like the Plymouth Yarn Company. And the colorway is a number. By the way, I was watching Hand Me Down's podcast, and that brilliant guy pulled out a magnifying glass to look at his yarn when he was on the podcast, and he wasn't like this, like I always do. So I might have to look into getting a magnifying glass, or if one of you guys have one you want to send me, it would help me in more than one way than just looking at yarn. Don't buy me a magnifying glass, I'm just saying. So that is, sorry, that was, the project is called the Virus Shawl, which I've been wanting to start for a long time. I think they're beautiful. And here's mine. I've already got compliments on it on Ravelry. And the color is kind of doing something interesting. Honestly, the balls were all skeined up in little tiny balls, so I was trying to just put them with the colors that went together, and so it's just going to turn out how it turns out. I was thinking ombre was dark to light only, but this one goes from dark to light to dark. It just has kind of, yeah, it's called ombre, but I thought ombre was something else. So I'm watching the YouTube video on this still on all my rows just to make sure that I'm going into the right hook space. And that is the Virus Shawl. I'm using the pattern from Girly Bunches from YouTube. And it's probably going to go into the gift pile, and that's on a H hook, which is 5.0 millimeter. So I'm happy to have crochet on the hook. I would like to start something else, but I'm not sure what. This is what I plan to do with a lot of my Caron cakes. I think that they would look beautiful in this. And I see this pattern using up a lot of my yarn, a lot of stash, so that's good. And then I also have my sock scrap blankets. I use the white yarn that I'm using is Wool Like from Michaels, and the pattern is Traditional Granny Square by Teresa Richardson, and I use her YouTube video, which, as you could tell, I use a YouTube video for crochet because I need to see what they're doing. Patterns, yeah, I don't know. I can't really do crochet from a pattern too well. I mean, the Granny Square is easy now that I've done a billion of them. And I'll show you, I keep my blanket in here. I have two of these totes, one full of those minis and this one, which is full of minis, and then this little thing I keep squares inside of, and I keep my blanket folded up right here. So it keeps it nice and clean. I apologize if this is too loud, setting all this stuff down. I haven't shown this in quite a while, but here, it's big. It is big. I think I need to add to the other side now. So I'm just gonna keep going and going and going forever until all this, until it fits me somehow. It's definitely not big enough to go over me or Mike. Coco would enjoy it. And I am using the Join As You Go method found on a blog called Addict24, and that's a UK blog. And I'm telling you that because when you crochet from UK instruction, it's different. The abbreviations are a bit different. Just set this over here for now. So I've kind of come adapt because I keep following UK patterns. And it's okay. It doesn't really confuse it too badly. Anything else about that? Okay, so that's all about that. Now, I feel like I'm going too fast and the podcast is going to be so short. That's okay. Next up, I started working on my project again, my spinning project again. So, and by the way, I did clean my desk. It's not a big mess anymore, but there's always going to be something on it. So I started spindling the third ply of the pink and sky blue. Sky blue and pink is the name of the name that was on the band. So I have this to do, which I try to do one little sprig of fiber in one day, and then if I can, and then I have one more little sprig right here. So that's going well. I can do that sitting down at my computer desk. But I actually like to do it in the kitchen, standing underneath all the lights. So that's that. That is Cheviot. Don't call it Quiviet, because that's a luxury fiber. Cheviot is a bit toothier, I think. And so that's 4 ounces. The fiber's from Highland Handmaids, and the spindle is also from Highland Handmaids. I haven't seen any in her shop, but I haven't looked in a while, so check that out. And as far as the fiber on the wheel, I haven't touched it for a while, so when I get back into that, I will be showing it. I also started a sewing project, which I just piled everything on top of. Okay. So I talked about a podcast called In a Pickle Knitting. She put out tutorials for a bag that she makes, and she wanted to share it so we could all make one. And so I actually did pick out my fabric, and this is a sample. So, come on, computer mouse. Alright, so this is gonna be the main fabric is gonna be this denim plaid woven looking, yeah. That's hard to show. So that is the outer, and then this is the lining, which I knew it wasn't going to turn out right. This is darker. It's not a bright gold like that. This is more of a butternut color, a butternut golden mustardy. You know, it's got that darker net. So anyways, I'm thinking about either doing that or this pattern that's gray. But I was just thinking that would be too much pattern on pattern. Oops, sorry. Camera angles. Okay. Which I guess I like that too, but I really like this. It's just so different. It's so different because it's a contrast, so it could be fun to play with, and if I mess it up, it's just my bag. Which I'm not going to, because I have decided I want to take my time on this one and make sure I get all my pieces cut nicely and ironed and ironed and ironed. And this is going to be the lining. So this is the lining. This is muslin, which I know people use for practice, but I really like it as a lining. I don't really know what muslin is, but I think you could use it as lining, I'm sure. You have to be able to. And so those are the colors I chose. Or this. I kind of like that too. I might go to Joann's and just get another cut of something. I don't know what to do. I should be using up stuff that I have. And that's the goal. And I think I can with this. So, I don't know when her knit or when her sew along begins or ends. I've already seen a bag in there. And, there could be prizes. I'm kind of just thinking that my prize is going to be my finished bag. And if you win one, that's great too. But, so that is, let's see what else. Oh, that's a YouTube tutorial. So check that out. So that's kind of what's been going on. The sewing machine's not out yet, but I have all my cutting stuff out. And then around the corner from my craft room, I have the ironing board with my stuff out there, the best press and all that. So I've got, I don't know. So that's, okay. That was sewing. The next thing I've started working on cross stitch again, and you guys have not seen this cross stitch yet. I keep my cross stitch in this bag I found at the dollar store, which you could probably cross stitch right on the bag actually, if you could see that. Here, let me show you my pattern first. Aha, here's the pattern. It's like a tribal turtle. And I found this on Etsy. And here, this is the bottom of the turtle. There is a mistake in it, which I won't point out, but I know that I didn't line the thing up right. And that's okay, because cross-stitch stuff happens, and you don't always want to rip everything back. That's the back of my cross stitch. It's not really tidy. But I ain't ashamed to show it because I'm no perfectionist. Well, I mean, I'm trying to be, but... I mean, I'm new, a newbie yet. I'm new. A noob. And then this thing that is on here, I made that. I found that on a tutorial, and that was simple to make. They call it a grind guard. So pretty boring. I don't really have much to talk about that. It's one color. This is what it looks like. DMC. And then whenever my needle falls off, I have to use this deal to get the thread back on. It's weird, there's a little lip inside of the needle that does not allow me to feed it how I would feed yarn onto like the darning needle. So that's my cross stitch. I don't know when I started it either. I'm just working on it slowly. I kind of want to work on that tonight. And new acquisitions. I didn't buy any acquisitions as far as yarn or tools for knitting, but I did buy some sewing notions, which they're scattered about right now, so I don't even know where I would look for them. They're over. I put them with my other sewing notions. So that's my only acquisitions. And next up, what I have planned, I was talking about the flax last week and knitting another flax. I just finished two. I finished that gray one earlier, and then I finished that striped one, and then I would love to knit along with the budget knitter. And I was telling you guys I only needed 3 cakes of the yarn I was showing you, but my cakes were not the big cakes. My cakes are just regular Caron cakes, which I would need 6. So I was kind of misunderstanding, and then Will sent me a message and told me, well, wait a minute. So if you have Caron cakes, it's 6 balls. If you have Caron big cakes, it's 3 balls. So if I were to make that, it'd be all kinds of different colors. And I'm thinking about just finishing what I'm doing here, finishing everything up, and then deciding what I want to do. So I'm not sure about the sweater, but still go ahead and join the budget knitter if you're interested in that sweater. Who knows? Maybe, I don't know how long his knit along is going. And then the next thing that's coming up on February 4th is the Olympics, which is so exciting. These are my favorite Olympics, are the ones with snow. So for my Olympics, I want to concentrate on spinning. That's what I like to do in front of the television. So that's why I'm trying to finish up my works in progress, and I'm working on the bag slowly, so that doesn't have to be finished by the time the Olympics start. And so I'll probably either tug my wheel out in front of the TV, or most likely I'll have my spindle with me. So if you know of any Ravelry groups that are doing a spin along during the Olympics or the Ravelinics, let me know about that. I was hoping Anchorworks would do something, but I don't see it in their Ravelry group. I might just tag them anyways while I'm doing it, just for fun, because those guys are fun. And then after that, I just still have to start Kyle's Monster, so that'll probably get started in the middle of everything. So that's about all I have this week. I wish there was someone else here who could talk while I knit. So that's all I have today. Here's my little book. I keep my show notes in there. I'm home alone tonight with Coco, so I'm just sitting here knitting and watching TV. It's Friday night. I don't have any special plans at all. I'm just probably gonna hang out and knit. Um, get the heel done on that sock, start down the foot, and hopefully I'll see you guys next Friday. We'll see how it goes. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great week.